Welcome to another episode on our channel. I wanted to do some updates on Joan of Arc because I wasn't really happy with the absence of chainmail around her neck. So I pulled it up a little bit. I think she looks a lot better this way. I also wanted to provide her with a crucifix. We'll talk about that in a bit. There was some conjecture, is some conjecture that maybe she had a mental illness. Maybe she was schizophrenic because she had visions. She heard voices, saint voices. But the reality is that at a very young age, without any military experience, she led French military personnel to victory after victory after victory, and stem the tide of English invasions, and eventually, even after her execution, the French prevailed with their freedom from the English. And what's even more interesting to me is during her ecclesiastical trial, which was composed of a majority of French clergymen who supported the English and the Burgundians, who were French volunteer army personnel that had captured her at one time and gave her to the English for a great ransom. They set trap after trap for her during the trial and tried to get her to say things that were considered heretical. For example, they asked her if she was in God's grace, which would have gone against church doctrine because no one knew or could ever know for sure if they were 100% in God's grace. And what was interesting is that her response was something to the effect of, if I am not in God's grace, I pray that I will be soon. And if I am in God's grace, I pray that I will remain in God's grace. So she basically didn't answer the question in a way that would be considered heretical. And she did that consistently throughout the trial, to such an extent that some clergy supported her and some actually were jailed as a result of their support for her. It didn't help. She was sentenced to life imprisonment, told never to cross-dress again, and never to speak of visions or voices, that sort of thing. And she was imprisoned in an English prison, not a church-related prison. It wasn't allowed to go to mass. She was kept in chains. And somehow, magically, male clothes showed up because she started dressing in men's clothing again. And her life sentence was withdrawn, and it was the determination by the English is that she should be executed, burned at the stake, basically. And during the carrying out of the punishment, she asked for a crucifix. So here's a little wooden crucifix I put in her hand, something out of nothing. And an English soldier was kind enough to grant her request and give her a small crucifix. And then she was promptly burned at the stake. So the complete story, perhaps we'll never know. But she answered brilliantly and with honor. And she stemmed the tide regarding the English invasions, and later was made a patron saint of the church. So again, here she is, Joan of Arc. I hope you've liked what you've seen. The addition of the crucifix, I put the white horse next to her because I thought it fitting. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, have a great day.